Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. We are so excited to have you here for our first workshop masterclass for 2026. I am Sanaa. I will be leading today's session. Apart from that, I am also a strategic programs coordinator for Scaling Future, where we are conducting today's workshop. I have with me as my co-host Andy and Shahida. With at Skilling Future, our vision is to empower educators that they future ready with the different disruptions that are taking place in today's world with AI and how it is changing so many dynamics of our classroom. It is making us reassess what are the different questions in education that we need to ask. So today's workshop is basically going to be all about the different things that as educators we can look into uh, for uh, for Gemini. We do know that within the past 1 year, Google has made a lot of fabulous changes in their platform, and they have introduced some new platforms. Along with that, some fascinating features within their Gemini platform as well. And this is what we wanted to show to you guys in today's session. So if you have any questions along the way, do let me know. I am going to make sure that as we go along, I am going to do a hands-on demo for the different features so you get to see what it is, how it can work out, and in what way, either as a student or as an educator, this can help you in your workflow. So, as talked about that, okay, our vision and our mission is to lead global transformation of education by integrating innovative technologies in an AI-driven world and ensure that you are leaders and innovators. So, I am an educator with over 13 years of experience at various public sector and private sector universities in Pakistan. Apart from that, I always keep on upskilling and I am also a Google certified educator. So today's workshop is going to be about, I'm going to start off by sharing a few resources that Google has developed and how they can help you with your learning journey, with your process. What are the different guides that are available? Then we are going to explore different features within the Gemini platform. Whenever we are talking about using AI, or one of the things that we do need to keep in mind is that AI is a tool. It is not a replacement for educators. It is not your replacement, and in no way where a lot of this debate is going to be about that, okay, AI is going to replace teachers or teachers are not needed in the classroom anymore. AI showcases that that is not the case at all. AI can be a good thought partner, it can be a good assistant, but it cannot, as of the moment, replace educators. Then, when you yourself or you are using AI in the classroom, regardless of the tool or the LLM that you are making use of, promote its ethical usage. Always do keep in mind that whenever you're making use of AI, it is all about that, okay, how it is ensuring ethical compliance. You are not supposed to put in your information, your students' information there. Moreover, the idea of bias, misinformation, and how at times AI can create information that actually does not exist also needs to be considered and looked at. If you're an educator, also look into thinking about how equity and equality among your classroom can be promoted, and all of the students have access to the tools that you are working towards. Now let's move forth. And this is where we are going to be exploring Gemini. Before I go there, I'm going to show you I am going to show you a few guides that they have developed and how these guides basically help you with and these guides can help you with your work. The first guide that I am going to, and we are going to not only email you these guides, but we are also going to share these in the chat box as well at the moment. The first one is that, okay, how is it that all of you can write and all of you can write an effective prompt? And within that, I'm going to talk about this framework. This is something that has been given to us by Gemini. Now, something that has been given to us by Gemini, it means that they understand their model very well. And based on their model, they have figured out what is a framework that can work best to elicit a response. So this is what we are going to be looking at. And this is a framework that I'm going to show you in the slides as well. This is, in easiest words, understand it as parts. What's a persona? Identify the role that you're going to assign to the LLM. Is it going to be an instructional designer? Is it going to be an assessment designer? Are you going are you asking it to be your assistant in your work for designing, for thinking about creating, for event management for your school? Then you also have to think about A is going to be aim, state your objective. What do you want it to do? Do you want it to brainstorm ideas? Do you want to create an assessment? What type of assessment do you want to create? Then you also specify the audience, that okay, who the recipients are going to be. Because once the recipients are clear, is it grade 2 students? Are you thinking about undergrad students? Do you have adult students, adult learning, distance learning students? And in all of the cases, it does keep the consideration in mind that, okay, this is the audience and this is the type of output that I have to create. That is with respect to language or any other. What is the theme? Do you want to specify any style, tone, or any other aspects? And then the structure. Do you want it in bullet form? Do you want it to be in the form of a table? Do you want it to be a quiz, an interactive quiz? Do you want to incorporate emojis? Do you want it to be in a conversational? You're creating a social media post and you want it to be more conversational in nature. What is it that you would? So this is something that they have specified. This is one of the structure that they have, that Google has given us for Gemini. There are a couple of others as well, but somehow they encompass the same thing. You definitely have to tell the context, giving the information of the recipients, limiting that, okay, who the information is for, and structuring the output helps you understand, helps the other person understand things very well. Then the second document that we will be sharing with you guys is Prompting Guide 101, in which there are other ready-made prompts that can help you along the way. They haven't updated it. The one that I have with me is the 2024 edition, and they have given a few prompts there as well with respect to how it can work for you. Then, if you're an educator and you want to teach students responsible AI use, this is a really, really good guide for that. So, what are the lessons and activities? Some of the lessons and activities within this guide are pre-made for you. You can pick those up, you can customize, you can personalize the information, and then can see what is it that can work for my students. Do my students have devices and I can design something for them? Do my students don't have a device at the moment? What is it that can work for them? So these are the different things that you will get an idea for, related to that. Okay, it talks about there, not only the lesson objectives are there, but it's also talking about that. Okay, what do you need to do during the lesson plan? What is it? And how is it that you can customize it? When you go there, when you click, it guides you to some additional information as well. So I hope so that these guides are going to help you with going to help you with the process. There are some additional links within these guides as well for their own courses. Google has a variety of courses. They have a course on generative AI. They have a prompting essentials course as well. So if you want to work on those, you can, those links are provided, those links are somehow incorporated within these as well. So I wanted to show you these, that okay, these are some of the things that you can have a look at before we start working on, before I start doing the hands-on demo for Gemini. Now, as talked about earlier, the first thing that we're going to have a look at is the prompting framework. Again, when we learn how to prompt well, we know that, okay, what are the different things that how is it that we can elevate our responses from something that's simple to something that's more specific and more focused in nature. I showcase this to you that, okay, this is the prompting framework, the paths framework. It's a simple way to guide Gemini step by step into asking what is it that you want it to do. Parts, persona, act, recipient, theme, and structure. Who is it that you want it to be? Once you assign it a role, it better understand, okay, now I am limited to this role. I'm an educator, I'm an instructional designer, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer. What am I? Then act. This is where you're going to use different verbs. You want it to write, create, and then what is it that you want it to create? So the more context that you're providing, the better they will be able to see what is basically ongoing. So this is one of this. Have a look at this prompt. You're a high school educator. Design a 5E lesson for 10th grade students, introducing the structure and function of DNA. Tailor the lesson for an inquiry-based science class and include an engaging lab activity for claim evidence reasoning, writing a prompt as an exit ticket. So persona has been defined. They have given an aim, that okay, aim or an act, recipient, who the recipient is going to be, what is the theme, what is the structure here. So let's start off with, let me show you the demo for this. Let me demo this for you. Okay, where were we? Okay. So this is how your Gemini workspace is going to look like. You have a Google account, and you will be able to find Gemini. You will be able to find Gemini there. Now, this is what the Gemini layout is going to look like. You would have the prompt bar, and then on the side, you will have all of the chats that you have worked with it earlier, similar to how if ChatGPT is something that you have used in earlier, that is what is going to work. I had written some of the prompts at my end earlier, and I am going to show, and I am actually going to show that to you. So the first one is, again, I kept in mind the parts framework, persona. What is my aim? Who's the recipient? What's the task? And what is the response? And what type of response is it that I want? So for this, I have written, act as a PBL expert for higher education level, who's an expert in providing practical insights about curriculum design and project design, which is practical based in pedagogical insights. I'm working on designing a project for English for second semester communication skills students on PBL. We will be working on integrating comprehension, critical thinking, and problem solving. Give me a project in which is practical and helps them with solving an issue. This is a 12-week project. So divide each aspect in the table of what students are supposed to do each week. So I've talked about that. Okay, what is it? What is the response that I wanted in? So simple. I'm not adding in any more features. I'm just following the prompting framework that I have showcased. So it talks about that. Okay, we can do an accessibility audit. And this is what, and I have been given a 12-week project timeline. That okay, phase 1 to 2 is going to be entry, event, and inquiry. What is it that the students can do? And then research, communication, and comprehension. They're going to do the literature review, the field work. Then on week 10, week 11, and week 12, I can export it to sheets, or I can copy it from here and then directly go to Google Documents and paste that information there. Key pedagogical figures, it talked about that, okay, and then it's also given me a diagram with respect to how it is going to work out and how it is related to the other component. Now, if I go back and I feel like that, okay, I would want to get an idea of the week 5 to 6, that okay, when my students are conducting primary research, what is it that they are supposed to do? And also do keep in mind, not ever don't always go with the first response, always keep on iterating. This is the best way of actually working with any AI platform. Always keep iterating, get an idea of what the platform is, what is it that it can do. Now, for example, I would say, what can students do in uh, fieldwork and data collection? Give me ideas. And then it will give you ideas with respect to, and I have not specified that, okay, I want the answer in the form of bullet points or any other, but I'm just like doing a back and forth with respect to what information is there. So, okay, it can be empathy and observation. And if I feel like students can do user journey mapping, environmental audiovisual log, stakeholder interview, okay, that is something that can work out. And I can also help students with designing a template for the questionnaire as well. So these are some of the things that can work out. Again, keep the paths framework in mind, and then you can do that. Now, for example, I feel like I need to, um, okay, help me design a rubric for this project for phase for week 1 till 4. It should be in a table and have different categories we are assessing in the project. Now, if you want to design a lesson plan, you want to design a project, you want to design an assessment, you want to design something for your students, this is something that's really very helpful in that process. Now, this is your rubric that can, and then you can always make any changes that you can always make any changes that are there. Now, if we go towards the second one, now I'm going to show you something that's a favorite of mine as well. Now, click on when you click on the tools here, you would see that there are different features. Deep research is there. If you don't have a pro account at the moment, I think so. The create video feature is in there. Nano Banana does a very good job with image creation. Then there is Canvas, and then there is Guided Lab. I'm going to show you Canvas because a lot of time I end up creating different activities for my students, and I want to show what is it that I work with. Now, for example, you've conducted something in your class and you feel like, okay, I have time and I want to create a game for my students. Now, what do I do? One of the best ways of doing that is open up Gemini, and in Canvas, go ahead. For example, you have taught students, maybe you've taught students about World War II. And you're like that, okay, let's have a fun game with different teams in the class and let's create that. within the Canvas feature, one of the things that is possible is that you can create this interactive applications, games, and activities for your learners. This is one of the things that I really, really like about it. Now, what you can do is uh, create an interactive game, Jeopardy game for students of grade 7 on World War II, on different events of World War II. Different events of World War II. Let's make it a competition. And have 3 teams which answer these questions. So just this, but the thing is you have to from here click Canvas as well, because it is only possible when you have clicked Canvas. Then you submit. Very basic. I wanted a Jeopardy game. Now what you're going to see is you're going to see the code first. It's creating the code, and then we will be able to see the preview. That okay, this is how the game is. This is how the game is going to. This is how the game is going to look like. There are multiple things that you can do within the Canvas application. You can create an interactive timeline. You can create, maybe if you're teaching students maths and fractions, that is a component that you can do. Now let's have a look. Now this is what it created. World War II Jeopardy, grade 7 history edition. There are 3 teams and start of the war, and then it goes till 500 points. And you just for testing it out, 100, okay, with, which country did it invade? Have students answer it within 15 seconds. If they don't answer it, if they have answered it, revealed, and then whether it was correct, incorrect, and who did it, or who answered that. And if you want to share it with your students, or if you want to share it with somebody else, the best the what you do is you click on the share link, and then uh, click link copied, and then share it. And this is something that if you want to do it in the class, this is also something that's possible. If you don't want to create it in the class, that is also something that, and if you want to share it afterwards, that's also something that can work out. Now let me show you something with respect to, again, within Canvas, what else is possible. I think so. You would have to, okay, if you want to keep, one of the questions that has been asked is, do they have to sign in and tell all of their information? You can create an account. If you don't want to use your original name or any other information, you don't have to. The thing is that Gemini can work without logging in, but you will not be able to save your chats or any other. For example, you created an activity and you really liked it. You will not be able to use that activity if you have not signed in. If you have not signed in. Now, let me do another one, and let me show you guys what I worked on earlier for worked on earlier for creating. Okay, here I go. And I said that, okay, let's have a look at it here. This one. Now, this is, I created this, and the purpose was that, okay, what are the different events? Uh, I want an interactive and clickable timeline for the different events in World War One. And whether you're teaching, for example, you're teaching literary history, and there is a certain poet, and instead of just giving students different instead of giving students a whole reading packet, apart from the reading packet, this is something else that you can give students. That okay, maybe for Wordsworth, for Shakespeare, create a timeline for their work, and if they had certain sections within their work, that okay, what is it that they created in the first period, the second period, or whether they have written what themes are eminent there. So that is something that you can also have a look at. Now, I wanted it to be clickable, and once I click something, I also wanted it to add some unusual fact that a lot of people may not know. Now it starts off with the day, the timeline, and did you know there. So as I move forth, this is where I get to see more information about what is ongoing. So again, have a look at that. Okay, the students are reading, but also something visual like this can help them with their thought process. Now let me show you another one that I created, and this is for the science betting lab, in which students have 500 credits, and this is for again for grade 5 students. Um, and within grade 5, what you do is you can do life sciences, a random mix, and uh, every question that students are going for, they'll have to then think about that. Okay, how many questions or how many credits is it that I would like to bet for this one? Now, for example, I go for 50, and then if my answer is incorrect, then I lose 50 credits. Just think about the element of gamification within your classes. This is what you are able to do in Canvas. Another really good thing about the Canvas is that if you are even creating certain emails in the Canvas as your output result, you are able to make any edits in them as well. So this is one of the possibilities within Canvas. Now another feature that is one of my favorite that is another feature that I really like is the guided learning feature. The guided learning feature actually helps you learn along the way with respect to the topic that you're working with. Whether it's a maths question, whether you're working on your research paper, and you're not really clear with respect to, okay, what do I have to do? What do I want to work on next? So this is something that you can work with. Now, within guided learning, now what I want to do is I am going to attach and upload a file of a chapter maybe a file of a chapter that I have. Now, it is listening and critical thinking. And I say, I have a quiz upcoming. Help me prepare for this quiz by designing scenario-based questions. Now, you would make sure that you have selected the right feature, because that is where it is going to make the difference. If you have not um, selected that feature, then you will not get the output results that you would want. Because it is within the guided learning that you will be able to. Now, this is where it has created my scenario. I'm going to do one more thing. Okay. Make sure the quiz is interactive. Design 10 questions. Now, I specified it a little bit more to show you that, okay, not every time you need to make sure that the word interactive is there uh, that the word interactive is there. I wonder what's happening. I want to show you that, okay, what particularly is there. Maybe it is due to this. So what it does is that it is going to, Mhm. wanted to show you. Okay. I am going to start off with this again because I want to figure out, okay, what actually happened. Okay. I'm going to upload my file and critical thinking, create an interactive quiz on this chapter, assessing conceptual concepts. So what the guided learning does is, which I don't know why it's acting up at the moment, it creates, it's working now, thank God. So this is what it is going to do. It is going to create an interactive quiz in a canvas like this. This is something that you can solve for yourself, and this is also something that you can do, you can share with your students. Now, you want to give students have an exam coming up, and you want to give students some additional practice for the concepts that they have studied in the class. They feel a little bit uncertain whether or not they have how good the concepts are. You can create something like this for them. Now, for example, I answer and it will give me, and it is also going to give me feedback along the way when I am answering. When I am answering correctly or incorrectly, I have 10 questions. I'll answer all of these because I want to show what happens at the end. Uh, Organization, filing systems, and then um, so because I'm in a hurry at the moment. Hmm, okay. So it's going to give you an analysis at the end. You can ask it to analyze your performance. You can ask it to create additional flashcards and a detailed study guide. Or you can review the quiz and even ask more questions. Now, I want to ask it to create a flashcard first, analyze my performance. I want to do that, okay, what is there? Now it is going to within the chart and here analyze my performance that, okay, this is what the key highlights are. What are the focus areas that somebody needs to work on? Now, if your students are working on their own, even if you are not there to provide direct feedback, this is something that can guide them along the way as to what is it that they need to work on. Then you can ask it to create a flashcard that, okay, what are the other flashcards? What are the other for, and it is, and these flashcards are, and these flashcards are created on the basis of the knowledge base that I have given it. I had uploaded a chapter, and then what is the answer there? I move to the second one. What is automatic attention? Then and then what the answer there is. And then I can also go back here and I'll ask it to prepare a study guide for me. And uh, this is what guided learning does really very well. Instead of giving you the answers, it is helping you learn along the way about the different possibilities. Now, if you're unsure, and if you want to, for example, you have an exam coming up, and you want to work on something there, it can also, and then you can share the quiz with the students, and then they can work on it. This is something that they can work on. This is something that they can work on further. If I want to create something else, for example, based on this information, I can create an infographic, I can create an audio overview as well. Now, if I click on the audio overview, it is going to take a little bit of more time in creating that audio overview because it is processing all of the information that is present. Now, while it is creating the audio overview, we are going to have a look at something else as well. Now, usually when we ask it, again, I'm going to select the guided learning, and I will be showing you other things as well. Now, within the guided learning mode, you can tell it that, okay, I am a student of, I am a, I am an English literature student and I am studying literary devices. I am studying maybe Wordsworth and his poetry. I am not sure what, I am not sure why his poetry is so significant in contemporary times. Help me understand this aspect. Now, instead of giving me the answer the way that it is, it's asking me that, okay, which of this sounds more interesting? And it's asking me probing questions. That, okay, do you, I want to look at it from the ego criticism perspective, the psychology of self, which area is it that I would like to dive in first? I'll say that, okay, let's pursue. This seems interesting. Now, if I would have asked uh, any other LLM, it would have given me the direct answers that, okay, this is what has happened, this is how to draw the cross connections. But with the guided learning mode, what is present there is the way that we are exploring it. What is it that we want to learn? So it is working as our learning partner. Now, not as it is working as a learning partner, not as something that's giving us the answers right away. Okay, so it's talking about what is it that we can do next, and then and it has answered. And then along the way, if you're studying for any other subject, this is something that can help you out really very well. You can design a quiz not only for yourself but for your students. You can design a lesson plan and then do other iterations along the way. The only thing that you would have to change is the different agents here. You want to go for deep research, you want to create an image, you want to create a canvas. Within the canvas, you want to go ahead with the game, or you are doing guided learning. Now, let me show you another one. Now, if you're a learner or if you're an educator and you want to give students something that's more, because a lot of our learners are now more visual, and this is a new experimental feature that they have come up with. This is a visual layout. Now, because I had worked on different, okay. Now, within the visual layout, I'm going to give it a prompt that, okay, act as a primary school teacher, create a visual discovery board about emperor penguins, use cards to show their habitat, diets, and unique family behavior, use a fun fact module, and simple visual checklist that what they need to survive in the Antarctic. Now, I'm going to go ahead. You can go ahead with, I think so, thinking or any other model. There is a little bit of a difference, and then you would see that it takes a couple of seconds to generate that information. That, okay, and we want it in visual layout is again experimental at the moment. They are working on this feature, but the results are really interesting. I felt that, okay, with guided learning, there are the good idea is that, okay, with respect to quiz that is there. But if I want to work on something that is more visual in nature, this is something that I would go by. This is something that I would work with. So welcome to the ice, meet the emperor penguin. And you would see these cards here, where they live, what's for dinner, what is their diet, and then these are the cards that Gemini has created for me within the visual lab. This is only going to You're going to get this output only and only when you have clicked the visual layout. If you have not clicked the visual layout, then this is not the output that you're going to get. So select the right feature within Gemini. Gemini is very versatile. You can get a lot of really interesting elements there. And then the survival checklist. Keep exploring. For example, any card that you're going to click, this is the next input that it is going to take within the chart. Now, for example, I'm clicking this. Now, here you would see that it is working on creating more information and again, more in a visual layout format. So this is new that they have, this is a new feature that they've rolled out, and I really enjoyed exploring it. What are the different things that you can use it with? You're thinking about, for example, you're thinking about working on a certification or an exam. And you can use the visual layout and you can tell it that, okay, what is there? What is it that you would want to work with? And I'm going to show you whether I have that element here or not. I was exploring it. Here you go. Now I was exploring TESOL certifications because I wanted to see what is it that it would do. So within TESOL certification, it basically said, okay, my gateway to teaching, and this is the only thing that I wrote, which I know is a bad prompt. But I wanted to show you what with the just the selection of the visual layout you can do. Comparing the big three certifications, what is there, what TESOL is, TEFL, CELTA, certification pathways, and then all of that information is just condensed in more of a visual format so that in you're able to see what is the information that you are working on. So you program checklist, accreditation, 120-hour minimum instruction support. That is it. And then it asked me, what is my primary goal? Do I want to teach abroad? I want a career advanced certification. And then what is my highest priority? And based on that, do I want something that's more budget friendly? Do I want career standard? I want flexible and supportive. And what is the information that I have? Based on this, it is going to provide me other things. I already have that. Not this. I'm no, I am a non-native English speaker, and then it is giving me answer based on the choices that I have. So you can also design a study guide for yourself. For example, I have 6 hours per week, and I have a big certification exam, project management, TESOL, CELTA, whatever that you have upcoming, and I need to prepare for that. What can I do? And then it can do that for you. You're planning a trip you're planning a trip for another city or another country. And then you can use this visual layout for that. You're an educator, and then you can use that in your class. Even in an English class, you'll be like, okay, have different teams of students and then ask them that, okay, create a 5-day trip plan for different countries and have students present it. Why this is something that we should consider. And not only are students exploring AI there, they are also communicating and presenting that information because they would have looked at the information. And then they would have looked at, okay, what is possible? What is not possible? What is it that I can work with? So this is how I believe the visual layout does a really good job with creating this information. Now let's do one more. I showcased the one there again. Select the right feature here. I'm going to go ahead with again the visual layout. I'm going to go ahead Pro and create a visual dashboard about the causes of the French Revolution. Use individual cards for societal, political, and economic factors. Include a sidebar for key historical figures and a chronological timeline module at the bottom. Now, again, you're teaching students these, you would have the slides created, but apart from the slides, what are the different things? And this is shareable as well. So you have created this additional information. You can share it with your students on Google Classroom or any other platform of their choice. So this is again something that I believe works out really very well regardless of the subject that you are teaching. So So a world of upheaval. We talked about we needed the social, political, and economic factors in the form of cards. If I would click any of these cards, that would be the next chat input that it is taking. These are the key historical figures. The timeline is there, and I can continue my journey, and I can also have a look at what the sources are to verify the information, and I can share it here as well. So it is shareable on any platform that you would like to have a look at. Now, one feature that I feel that I haven't showed you, a lot of times that we have used. Now, I'm going to go back and show you where it created an audio overview. It's still creating audio overview, takes a little bit of time, so you would have to be patient for that. Now, another thing that is there is you can create images. You're teaching students, and Nano Banana is really very good at that. You want to create you want to create visuals for your slides, you want to create visuals for your the for s- for any of the lesson that you are teaching. Now, for example, I want to do it for photosynthesis, but again, I'll have to tell that, okay, it needs to be a Pixar animation rendition. This is the style that I am giving it. You can go ahead with something simple as well. Mm, that I need an image for maybe the image for your slides. This is this is something that it gave me that, okay, if with respect to photosynthesis, because I said I need something that is 3D and isometric in nature, you can also go ahead that, okay, can you show me something that's more simpler and a different 2D format. So generating image feature is available in all of the Google accounts. Now, I wanted something simple. This is something simple that it created for me. Now, more or less, it's all about which class you're creating it for, which course you're creating it for. What is the additional information that you're looking at? This is what is present there. Other features that are present in Gemini are deep research. Deep research is that, okay, deep research is where you can deep research is present in all at the moment in all of the platforms. You can test it out in ChatGPT. You can test it out in Gemini. Or Perplexity if that's what you want to do. We do use, and we have conducted last year workshops in which we showcase different research tools as well. That, okay, how it can work out for you. Now, within deep research, what the LLM does is that with the prompt that you have given it, it's going to conduct a research and create a report for you with respect to that, okay, what are the different sources saying. I'm going to do one for you. So yeah, I had, okay. So act as a research assistant supporting a faculty. Summarize 3 to 5 research findings from peer on project-based learning in middle school science. Include APA citations and group findings. Now I want it to be in the thinking model, and it is going to give me an initial preview of what is there. Again, to keep in mind, for some of the features, it takes a little bit of more time for it to process the information, and deep research is one. So now it's giving me a research summary that, okay, this is what it's going to do in step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it's going to analyze the result and create the report. And if I want to edit the plan, I can do that, start the research. But always do keep in mind the human in the loop approach. Always cross verify the information that is present. What are you doing? Whether or not do the results align with what you're looking for? Because there is a possibility this that AI can hallucinate information or create information that is not there. So use it for brainstorming, use it for, okay, what is the state of literature review at the moment? What is ongoing? And that gives you a preview with respect to the information that is there. So let me know if you have any questions while this is ongoing. So, and then we will, once this is conducted, I will show you what are the, I will address any questions. I'll address any questions that are there. I think so. There was one question. I had read it. Um, is it possible to create role plays for assessing listening skills, for example? Joshua, you can create role plays as in videos or create role play scripts. You can create role play scripts and for the students for you can create role play scripts. I did see that okay, the video feature, the VO video feature is not available in all of the accounts at the moment. It is slowly and gradually being rolled out. But I don't think so. It has but I don't think so. It has uh, the the narration at the back. But you can actually use the audio that is created in the audio overview for the listening skills. On 31st January, we are going to do another workshop on Notebook LM. That is a continuation of this workshop. You should attend this workshop to get an idea how is it that you can create audio for assessing listening skills for students. You can do that here, but I think so it does that the other platform we're going to show you again, I really will do a better job. Okay, any other questions or any other thing that you still are not clear about and would like to know? Andy, I think so we should share the feedback form with them so that they're able to fill that up. Please fill the feedback form so we are able to get back to you and share with you your certificates by the end of the week. And yes, we will be sending out within the same one. We are going to be sharing information about about our upcoming workshop as well. Now, you have any questions? Ask away, and again, just showcasing what we have, what are the different things that we have worked on, and again showing you what I was working on earlier as well. And this was I showed you another one that I created with you guys. This was one. So I really one of the I really I like the versatility of the different aspects that are present within Gemini. That okay, what it is able to do, what we are able to create, um, and what are the different things that what are the different possibilities that are present here. Let's see if it has created. Not yet, still thinking. So this feature, this is going to take a little bit of more time. And I want to go back and see whether the audio one is ready or not. So the audio is ready just because I have a listening bud connected, it is not. And this is a 1 hour audio that it has created, which is kind of very long. Next time around, when I'm going to create an audio, I want it to be something that's shorter and I can go again with create and showcase that, okay, how you can also create infographics. And based on the same information, again, I showed you the quiz component earlier as well. You can also design slides in this And the best thing about designing slides in Google Canvas is that they are exportable in Google Slides. The only thing that I don't like about the slides in Canvas is that they are very simple. If you have seen the infographics and the other slides that are at the moment being produced in Notebook LM, then versus that, this is simple, but the good thing is they are editable. You don't like any information, you feel like, okay, this is something that's not working out for you. You want to add an additional slide, you want to delete any slide, add in images, you can do all of that. Let me show you some of the slides that a slide that I was working on it earlier. And because Google Slides is not one of my go-to platforms, but I'll show you how it's working out. Okay. So this is the slide that it created in Canvas, and again, exportable. I can change any information that is there. Do not like the slide format, and then this is Nano Banana is available in the Pro version, and I can make any changes. I can make any changes here. So this is something that we can have a look at. Please fill in the feedback form if you have not done so. Andy has already shared that information. And this is what the um, this is what the infographic looks like. That okay, the listening process, because it is based on the chapter, and I use it for teach. I use this in my class. So I can tell you that it does summarize the information really very well. The listening process is there, the forgetting curve, barriers to effective listening. And again, and it's giving me what the source material here is. And if again I want to, I can share this, I can copy the contents. And if I want to maybe create some additional information, I can also do that there. And so there are the possibilities of how you work with it. I would love that if you experiment with it a little more and get to see what are the different possibilities that the platform offers. If I think so, we are also at the end of our workshop time, and if we will be sharing again with you guys yeah, the certificates by the end of the week. If we are able to do that earlier, we will do that. And thank you so much for all of you for joining us. I hope you have filled in the feedback form, because that's a way that we will get to know your complete name and send you your certificates on your email. Thank you, Nessa Lopez. It was really I don't know how your name is going to be pronounced, but thank you so much for joining from Ecuador, and it is pretty early for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And I hope you join us for our upcoming sessions as well. We are going to make sure that, similar to today's session, it's practical and it is something practical, and you, either as educator, researcher, or a learner, are able to utilize those skills. Thank you. Thank you.